welcome to the amokblog38 video blog of the day. Yeah, this is a piece of the thing that I'm working on right now, and that's all you get to see for the moment. As you can probably see if you look behind me, my studio's in a bit of chaos right now. I'm working on this really large thing, and it's really a lot of fun, but I'm actually working on several things right now. That's part of the reason these podcasts, these blogs have been a little bit less frequent. I've got a lot of things going right now. Over the course of the last week, I've worked on that big project. We've bought a car. I'm working on a new video, which has taken quite a bit of time because it's very involved, and I've got a lot of things going. Right now, for any of you who might be Mark Schultz fans, you probably will relate to this. I'm living like that song, Running Just to Catch Myself. But you know what, guys? Sometimes you gotta slow down a little bit. We got deadlines at work. We've got projects that we're working on. We've got all these things going, especially for artists and especially for a lot of the folks that I deal with who are artists in the church. We've got our church jobs, we've probably got our day jobs, and we've got our art. So we've got things going all over the place. And you know what? Even though right now I love everything I'm doing, I'm really enjoying everything I'm doing. I have a great job, I have a really great ministry, and I've got a lot of great stuff going on. But sometimes you just have to slow down a little bit. And sometimes you have to focus. I've started running, as hopefully you can tell. Otherwise you think I'm just a slob, but no, I just got back from running. And my philosophy has really been changed recently. You see, I used to have this thing where I'd pick a point on the horizon and I'd run toward it. And actually, I should say I'd walk toward it, because when I was walking, that was really a good way to go, because I was constantly focused on this thing that was out there somewhere. Kind of like I live my life as a person who's an artist, and a lot of us artists are sort of visionary people. So we're constantly looking forward and looking way out into the future. But there's a problem with that. And the problem is, a lot of times, at least for me, I get so focused on what's out there that I start to miss what's all around me. You know what I mean? So one of the things that I really need to lock in on is I need to focus on what's right around me. I need to remember, in the midst of this great vision and dream that God has given me for my life, that I've got a wonderful family around me, and there are people in need all around me, and there are all kinds of things that need to be done all around me. I can't always be looking out at the horizon. And I really got this message the other day when I was starting to run. There were a couple of hills that I really was having a hard time beating, and most of the time I'd end up walking while going up these hills. And it was kind of like I started to feel this idea after a while that maybe my problem was the way I was looking. I'd look at this point up at the top of the hill and I'd start to run toward it, but the further I got up the hill, the harder it felt to keep going. And I started thinking about all the way that I have to go yet, and realizing that, I probably wasn't going to be able to do it. And, the Lord started to show me something. I started to, the one day when I was facing one of these hills, I was sort of deep in prayer, and I was sort of between prayer and thinking about all the stuff that had to be done yet today. And I started to go, and instead of looking up and watching the top of the hill as I usually do, I started just kind of, putting my head down and just running. And what I noticed was I just kept focused on God, and I wasn't really even thinking about what I was doing. And the next thing, I was at the top of this hill. And I think God was trying to show me something that I'm hoping will help all my artist friends and all my Christian friends as you try to live out your ministries and try to live out your vision for your life. It's great sometimes to look out and see the big picture. But if we're just faithful and focusing on putting one step in front of the other, that's really how we get everything done. Isn't it? I mean, we don't usually jump right to the goal. We usually have to work little bits at a time to make our way up the hill. One step in front of the other to get where we're going. Now, it's always great when we can get to the top of the hill and we can see that vision off in the horizon. But we need to make sure that we're looking at what goes on around us. In Psalm 119, there's this famous verse that says, "Your word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path." And I never really focus very much on what that actually means. What that actually means is, as we're following God, as we're reading the Word, as we're studying the Word, and it guides us. But we can't necessarily see what's going to happen, 10 miles down the road. But he does give us always enough light to take the next step. And so today, as you work on your busy life, as you look at all the things that you've got going, number one, I want to ask you to slow down. Slow down and savor the moments of your life because you never get them back. But secondly, focus on what's going on around you. Take that next step and the next step and the one after that. Be faithful with each moment you've been given. Don't let yourself get so frustrated with the thing that's so far off and you can't seem to get there. Just take the next step and then the next step and the next step and keep on going until you reach the vision. There's this wonderful verse in the Bible that says, "He who began a good work in you will carry it through to completion in the day of Christ Jesus." You need to really focus on what that says, though, because it doesn't say you will finish it. It says he who began it will finish it. The God who started whatever he's doing in your life will finish it. Maybe through you, maybe through someone else. But he who began it will finish it. We just need to be faithful with each moment and do the best we can with each moment and trust the rest to God. Guys, I think this is really going to help me a lot because I spend a lot of time frustrated. I won't lie to you. Because I feel like my vision sometimes is really far away. But you know what? I need to stop looking at that and start just going one step at a time. Keeping my mind on the vision, keeping my mind on it to make sure that I don't go a bunch of directions I'm not supposed to go. But in the end, we need to be focused on the next thing God puts in front of us and let him carry it all the way through. He knows the plan from beginning to end, so trust him with it. I don't know how many more of these things you'll be seeing over the next couple days. My family and I, speaking of slowing down, are going on vacation for a couple days. We're going to Ocean City, Maryland, and I would really appreciate your prayers. Just that I would be able to disconnect and unplug from a lot of the things I'm doing for a while and just enjoy the time with my family. So I ask your prayers for that, and just may God be with you as you do what you need to do. Remember, slow down, one step at a time, and be faithful with every moment. Let God bring it together.